Representative Sabatini, so the American Academy of Pediatrics, they have about 67,000 members. Them, along with numerous other national associations using science, because you mentioned that, they approve of the type of care that is being not only prohibited in your bill, but criminalized with a second-degree felony for doctors who perform them that can serve up to 15 years in prison if they perform the type of health care or procedures that are acknowledged by all of these national associations as appropriate. Now, you did give us a letter. You sent us in a letter from the American College of Pediatrics, but they have been thoroughly debunked by really the entire industry of medical professionals. They have about 200 to 500 members nationwide. So with that being said, and they've also been designated by the Southern Poverty Law Center as a hate group, why should we criminalize healthcare that follows what the overwhelming consensus of medical professionals in the nation and in the world say is appropriate and life-saving for transgender youth?
Representative Sabatini, you're recognized.
I appreciate the question. Thank you so much. As you know, as a member of the Health Quality Committee, you generally don't make policy based on a show of hands from outside organizations. What I believe members of this committee and from the legislature should be doing is actually taking the analyses, taking the sorts of evidence that they're relying their well-informed opinion on, and actually analyzing it for yourself. Instead of just completely deferring to an outside body, I think it's really important that we make sure that we're diligently going through the research that they themselves are relying upon before they become a super legislature for this. And to answer your question a little bit more fully, I do not believe in any way, shape, or form that because some folks are dissenting who are in a minority in the profession of being in pediatrics or in psychiatry, that somehow their voices don't matter. As we know, some of these social phenomena come on to, in such strong degree that often folks in the industry are actually afraid to show their real beliefs. Small political bodies on the subcommittees of these large medical organizations often control the conversation. And yes, folks, you should be able to understand that just like here in politics, there's bullying and crowd consensus when it comes to these sort of positions. This same exact thing happens in the medical profession. And so dissenting voices are often quelled, and there's lots of good evidence to explain that and how that's happened. But the one thing, to answer your question to the fullest extent, I think you should really drill down on is the extreme speed in which these practices have become the normal practices. There were estimated to be less than a dozen gender clinics in 2007. There's close to 40 in 2014. We've actually lost track. So we've basically completely replaced the traditional gender therapy that exists in this country with a radical new mode. And to think that because the AMA or anybody rose their hands and said, yes, we like this one better, that we should be making that the law in Florida, I just disagree. So, but thank you for the question.